At our Friday morning gathering last week, my friend Elaine, she asked everybody to raise their hand if they hear the voice of God and have that kind of connection. And almost nobody raised their hand. Now, I think there were two things going on there. Elaine doesn't usually speak, and she was having a remarkable transformation that I was observing and some others were observing, where she went from this fear space of being nervous about getting up there and talking to this really peaceful space where her peace was pervasive in the room and reaching everybody on a very soulful, deep level, and it was just an amazing thing to observe. So I don't usually hear that voice, but and nobody, almost nobody raised their hand. But as far as Elaine was concerned, we were all sharing an experience with her as her. And so we didn't really interact. It wasn't really a give and take kind of a thing. It was more like we were all up there with her. It was really beautiful. But then the thing is, as far as hearing the voice for God, I got up and I said to everybody at the end, I shared what I just said, and I also said, you know, I think we all hear the voice for God, but we hear it in so many different ways that are unique to us, that are easy for us, that are specifically chosen by the Holy Spirit as the best way to communicate to us. To a large degree, for me, it's through my music and other creative activities. But anyway, so that's and like I told everybody, and like I'm telling you, probably at this very moment, besides the voice that's coming out of this head and this mouth, you're probably hearing another voice right now, which is the voice for God. And don't negate it. Realize that it's always there with you. So that was a beautiful experience. It was very transformational. I got a lot of peace out of that. And then I had a second experience, which really changed me and removed a lot of the charge that I had on government and the authorities and so forth, you know. Jesus does talk about the authority problem in the Course, and I'm not going to go and read that whole thing right now. It's something for you to read. But just look up the authority problem, I believe is the name of the section, and I think you might find it very interesting. But my mom was visiting with me last summer, 2014, and we were at the Ogunquit Playhouse, and it's known that the Bush family, Papa Bush and Barbara, will frequent that particular location because it's very close to where they live in Kennebunkport, and because nobody told them that they can't. As a matter of fact, when we saw him pull up, my mom knew about my background in liberty activism, and she said, don't you dare, don't even think about it. I'm like, why? He's not even your politics, you know. She's like, he's a part of history, and I'm thrilled to see him. And actually, though, what she didn't realize and what I didn't realize was that already the trigger was there, but the anger, the angst, frustration, the fear, all of these things are manifestations of fear. They weren't there. And so I asked my mom. My dad had passed on 2 years ago on Memorial Day weekend. And I asked my mom, I said, if Dad was here, what would he do? She's like, I don't know. He would definitely say something, though. He would definitely say something. And, you know, I had seen my dad 3 months after he died. It's a long story, but because of this experience, I was able to believe Gary Renard's story about his visitations. And I told him so when I saw him in April at the New York conference. And he said it was quite a story. But I'll make that the subject of another video, perhaps. But anyway, I saw him. So I knew that he was still like hanging around. Anyway, so I asked her, what would he say? She said, I don't know. He would definitely say something. He would probably say something. And I saw her space changed a little bit right then because she got this certainty, like as if it was like a download, you know. And she said, he would probably say, looking at Bush 44 or 43, 42. No, Obama's 44. 40. Anyway, Papa Bush. I used to know these things. My dad was in a wheelchair the last few years of his life, and Bush was in a wheelchair as we saw him last summer. And my mom said, well, my dad would probably say something like, oh, you're just like me now. And I was like, oh my God, that's exactly what he would say. As a matter of fact, a chill went down my spine. I knew that that was him saying that through her. Too bad he hadn't let go of these things, you know, since he's moved on and so forth, but he's still... Anyway, maybe he was just being helpful, telling her what he would have said. Anyway, so in my previous activities as a liberty activist, it would have been seen by me as my duty to video my getting in Bush's face about his war crimes, about, well, basically everything that's in Dark Legacy, which is a film that you can see on Netflix, and I'll leave it at that. But instead, I had three thoughts. One of them was, first of all, I looked at him, and he's an old guy in a wheelchair. Regardless of what he's done and to whom, right now he's quite helpless, and I couldn't help but feel compassion. Number two, I figured if we're all one, then none of us gets out of here without that cat. Not that cat, and not that cat, but that bush cat. None of us gets out of here without him, because we're all one. So why attack him? And the third thought was, as Jesus walked up to Mount Calvary with cross in tow in his hands, being tortured and all the rest of it, and of course we know now that he didn't feel any pain because he was already too far advanced mentally and spiritually to react to the body in such a fashion. But did he feel, what did he think, what did he feel towards the Romans, towards the Jews, about his predicament, about his tormentors, and so forth? Unconditional love. Unconditional love, the same as he feels for you and the same as he feels for me, has always felt for you, has always felt for me. In that one moment of time, which has taken billions of years for us to realize was only one moment. All throughout that time, he's been with us, giving us unconditional love. And he didn't feel any different about the Romans and the Jews. And I looked at those three things and I felt relief. And I felt peace. And that's what this video is all about, is how I came to have peace in regards to the government due to my understanding of the world as illusion and due to the explosion of peace, love, and joy inside of my heart because of Jesus and A Course in Miracles. So, Big Brother, if you're watching, you don't have anything to worry about and chilled out now, You can stop opening up my bank statements in the mail. You can stop running me off the road. You can stop smashing my car windows and ruffling through my papers. Actually, that was 2006. It hasn't happened in 9 years, but anyway, and it never happened. But anyway, that's what I wanted to share. So that is the huge kind of transformation that somebody, even somebody such as me, can have. Even such a charged area. And really, it had only been about a little over a year that I'd been studying the course. So that's a miracle. Both of those things are absolutely miracles. And the Elaine thing on Friday last week, that was a miracle too. We all had a miracle that morning. And this is a course in miracles. Take notes. Take notes on your journey with the course. And maybe I'm giving you something that you might also want to take notes of. Just in terms of something happened for me and something can happen for you. Peace out. I love you very much, and I thank you for listening. And I'll be back with another video soon.